today we are going to learn about writing workshop. I'm going to give you a taste of what it's going to be like next year. Starting next year, every day you're going to participate in your classes in something called writing workshop. You're going to have a set amount of time where really you're going to become really amazing writers. Okay, so today we're going to kind of learn a little bit about it, and for the rest of the school year, writing workshop will become part of our daily schedule. So before we begin, there's 3 learning targets. So at the end of our lesson, you should be able to tell me that you mastered those. Who can read the first one? John?
I can identify components of writing workshop.
Good. So at the end of our writing workshop, you should be able to tell me all the parts of it. Next learning target, who can read that for us? Sean?
I can name the components of writing workshop with a partner.
So at some point today, you're going to be with a partner and you're going to be able to tell them all the parts of writing workshop. Last learning target, Jacob.
I can reflect upon my interests, passions, and ideas for writing.
So that another part of today's lesson, you're going to be given a survey, going to answer some questions just about your feelings as a writer, your experiences, some strengths. So now I'm going to briefly go over the components of writing workshop. The first part of writing workshop is a mini lesson. So, basically, every day during a writing workshop, you're going to learn a new skill, could be a new strategy. You might be learning about a new writing genre. You might even be learning some kind of grammar skill as a way to enhance your writing. So every day you'll have a little bit of a mini lesson. Next, you will have a time that's called independent writing, and that is really when you are going to grow as a writer. You're going to spend quality time writing. Sometimes you may be writing with a partner, and other times it's going to be independent. But during independent writing, there might be something called a mid-workshop teaching point. So if I'm going around and I'm seeing there's a common question or maybe a common error or something maybe that I should have touched on and I didn't, I'll kind of stop you guys while you're writing and we'll have like a mini lesson on something, okay? Maybe I'm noticing everyone's not indenting, so we might stop and we might review how to indent with paragraphs. And that's also going to be a time where I'm going to pull students to work with me, okay? That's why it's super important that during the independent writing time, our voices are kept pretty quiet so that I can work with other students and also so other students can focus on their writing. And then finally, we'll always end with a group share. Okay, we'll kind of review what we've learned, you know, what worked, what didn't work. And again, sometimes the group share might be a partner share. Okay? Instead of sharing out with the whole class, I might just have you share with a partner. Okay? So right now, Jess, question?
If we're having a partner, will we switch partners or have the same partners all the time?
So usually you'll have the same partner for quite a bit of time.
Okay.
And that's the person that every day you might go sit with. And normally during a mini lesson, depending on lack of space in the classroom, you would all kind of be very close to me. But just due to our lack of space, we're just going to stay in our seats. Okay, when we work in here. What I want you to do now is I want you to turn and talk to someone next to you. And I want you to take turns telling them the different components of writing workshop. Okay? You may begin. So you're talking to someone, and if you don't have a partner, you can be a group of three.
And this is a mini analysis, right? I'm sure it would probably take a little bit, but you're right, like if you don't invent it, your teacher
Make sure your partner has had a turn to tell you. And as soon as you're done, voices are off, so I know we can move on. Thank you to the groups who have stopped talking, so that I know that they already completed their task. Looks like most partners have finished. So now let's review. Who can tell me the first part of writing workshop? Parker. A mini lesson. And what is going to be usually accomplished during a mini lesson? Elijah?
A new skill, a new grammar skill, or
Yeah, it could be maybe that day it's going to be a grammar skill. So maybe that day you are going to be very focused on adjectives. So adding more descriptive adjectives to your writing. Okay, so he's absolutely right. A mini lesson, you're going to learn something new. You're going to focus on something new. It might be a grammar skill, like we just said, adjectives. It could be you're learning a new genre. Okay, you might be learning how to write persuasively. It might be part of the writing process. Maybe you're really going to focus on revising. Okay, so it's some skill, ultimately hoping that you will grow as a writer. So that's the mini lesson. So today our mini lesson is what are the components of writing workshop, okay? Because that's new to us. So that's the skill that we're learning is all the parts of writing workshop. So after the mini lesson, and normally it will be pretty short, it will be like a 10-minute little lesson on something. Next we go to what? Landon?
independent writing.
Good. And during independent writing, what's going to happen at that time?
We're gonna be writing. Independently.
Yeah, you're going to have that specific time to write. Okay, that's your time to write. And there might be other things that might go on during independent writing. You can tell me one. Sean.
One is you'll come around and grab some students to go back there and
Yeah. We'll go conference. Okay? That way I can really get specific on your areas of need in your writing. Okay, maybe I notice a few of you are just stuck on something. You need a little extra practice or reteaching. I'll pull you back and we'll focus on that. Also allows me to, talk to you about your writing. Get your ideas. Maybe there's something that you've been struggling with, and we're going to work on that and help you to grow as a writer. What else could be happening during independent writing besides conferencing?
I'm gonna teach you.
And that is what?
Whenever you notice that everybody has the same question or is struggling.
Yeah. It might might just stop and focus on something specific, okay? So that, I'm hoping to, instead of just letting a few people know about something, I'm gonna let the whole class know. Like, we're gonna review something together as a class so that everyone gets it better. What else can happen, Savannah, during independent writing?
You have time to write with a partner.
Yeah, so sometimes during independent writing, it actually won't be independent writing, it will be partner writing. You'll be able to write with a partner, sometimes you'll be doing work together. Sometimes you actually might just be doing your own work, but sitting with them, okay? And that's someone who, if you get stuck on something or you don't know if this sentence sounds good, you can say, hey, can you look this over and proofread it and tell me, can I improve anyway? Or maybe they have an idea. So sometimes, because I might be working with a group of people, so sitting by a partner can really help us with better ideas or just ways to improve our writing, or just it's good for some feedback. And always remember, when you're giving feedback, try to be as specific as possible. So instead of saying, that's really good, let's be specific. I loved how you use those descriptive adjectives. You really use vivid details. So let's be specific with our feedback, okay? So that's independent writing. And then the last major component of writing workshop is what, Jade?
Group share.
And that is when we what?
When we share with a group, or we can just share with a partner.
Yeah, so depending on, they might want to share a piece of their writing. They might be sharing maybe a strategy that was super successful for them. Maybe a strategy that wasn't successful. And again, sometimes you'll be sharing whole group. And sometimes I might just say, share with a partner, especially depending on lack of time. Okay? So now we're going to move on from the mini lesson, and we're going to go to independent writing. And your job today is you are going to complete a little survey. It's more like a questionnaire. I just want to know about you as a writer. So it's going to ask you questions. What do you enjoy writing about? Where do you get your ideas from? Okay? So you have 2 pages. We probably won't get done with both of them today, but just go ahead and get started. And so this is going to be an independent time, because you're really writing about yourself as a writer. Okay, and I want you to focus. And so that's what we're going to do for independent writing. I just want to get to know you better as a writer. And so by knowing some topics you enjoy writing about, or what you feel are your strengths, that helps me plan our writing workshop. So pass out monitors, if you would pass this out. You may get started once you get your papers. And then I will pull a few of you